Hello everyone and welcome back to more of the Fruit of Grisaia. Let's continue on. Just as Sachi said, there are no immediate changes in Makina's everyday life. She's able to follow her usual routine without incident. On the days when she works at the bakery, I quietly follow her on the way over. In the evenings, I wait outside to walk her home. It's starting to become a normal part of my day. When I slip out of the school's front gate a little after Machina, I never fail to spot a certain silver station wagon following her. Presumably more observers from the detective agency. The first time I casually glanced in through the side window, I noticed that the man holding the steering wheel wasn't that Ihara guy who screwed up last time. Idiot's clumsy enough to get their wallet stolen while following a target, presumably get reassigned to pushing paper around. Felt a small twinge of conscience pass quickly, though. I don't know who the new guy in charge is, but since he was given the job after the Duns failed, he's most likely a pretty competent investigator. On top of which, we've now got two men assigned to the case. From what Sachi tells me, the people employing IGS are indeed connected to the Branch family. In short, they're probably trying to determine whether Makina's obediently keeping her head down, looking for any evidence of her coming into contact with the main family. The silver station wagon follows a good distance behind Makina until reaching the shopping district, at which point the man sitting in the passenger seat gets out. While the driver takes the vehicle around to park in an hourly lot on the other side of the station, then leans the seat back and lies down. It's what they call a package drop at my workplace. Since we've got two men on the job now, the observer and his driver seem to have a clear division of labor, makes it easier to deal with sudden or unforeseen developments. Might seem slightly excessive just to keep an eye on Makina, but the bulk of their work actually seems to be investigating the people who enter the bakery where she works. The owner and his wife who already been thoroughly checked, so instead they're photographing every single customer who steps by with a digital camera. They keep it up continuously from 9 in the morning till later than 5 in the evening when Makina goes out to deliver bread. The man in the car heads over to her destination while his partner continues watching for customers in her absence. It must be ridiculously dull work, but they're very consistent and conscientious. Clearly a private detective's life isn't all thrills. But despite the obsessive investigation, they haven't found any suspicious individuals coming into contact with Makina. If there's a reason besides stubbornness that the Branch family hasn't called off their surveillance at this point, Sachi speculates it might have something to do with me. Looking into the people around Makina would naturally mean they pursued a thorough round of inquiries into the identities of those related to her school as well. The principal would be first on the list, but it no doubt includes the visiting lecturers and the contractors who maintain the facilities. Sachi, Machina, and Sachi can't have been an exception. And among all these, there's only one individual whose investigation would have turned up absolutely nothing. Myself, Kazumi Yuji. Of course, I do have a profile. Anyone with a bit of knowledge about these things would find it suspicious at a single glance, but these aren't any conclusive flaws or contradictions. My papers are clean and beautiful as driven snow. There must be someone over there who didn't like that overly tidy, blatantly prepared personal history. That would seem the most likely explanation for the way things are dragging out the way they're dragging out this fruitless surveillance of Makina's surroundings. They're probably aware this investigation isn't getting anywhere, but they're not prepared to back down until they get a read on me. I'm sure IGS isn't too broken up about the state of affairs, since they're no doubt getting paid well for their dull but easy work. On the other hand, the Branch family must be getting pretty aggravated by the deadlock. If we can't finish this investigation, why not just remove the need to investigate? I don't know who made that call, but today their routine is finally broken. In the early evening, I'm making my way over to the bakery to pick up Makina when I notice a black sedan surging up the road ahead, the classless roaring of its exhaust system drawing louder and louder as it approaches. That's not the only reason the car stands out. All the side windows are covered with dark black film, and it's so low to the ground it's probably a cut spring. Zigzagging across the road to avoid a manhole cover, the car screeches to halt in front of Makina's bakery, and before I can do anything but start in surprise, the window on the passenger side abruptly slides open. You've got to be shitting me. As I take a first hurried step forward, my scalp burning with a sudden surge of panic, the muzzle of an automatic appears from inside the car. God damn it! I've been too happy-go-lucky. It's not so complicated from their perspective, is it? Eliminating Makina solves the problem in a single step. And of all the cliched, simplistic ways to do it, I hadn't even considered the damn possibility. For a moment, that seems to last a year. All I can do is curse my negligence. As the attackers speed past, I turn to memorize the number and make of their car. There's a sticker on the rear window with the words Team Blood Cherry under the crude sketch of a skull holding a cherry bomb in its teeth. A biker gang? It's also possible that they're pros in a stolen vehicle, pretending to be gangsters as a cover. But that's not what matters right now. Papa! Makina, you alright? Any injuries? Calm down. It was just some idiots in a biker gang screwing around. More importantly, you weren't injured? In any case, let's get back inside for the moment. A drive-by shooting is a lot like a bombing. By which I mean the safest place you can be is one that's been hit already. There aren't many idiots who will plug another bullet right where they fired the first one. When I entered the bakery with Makina, the owner was cradling a telephone against his shoulder, desperately explaining that the shots were fired through his window. From the tone of his voice, it's clear that he's talking to the police. The nearest neighborhood station is right outside Machina Cape Station, not even 200 meters away as the crow flies. They should be here in minutes. Please don't let it be that guy again. At times like these, my bad premonitions are depressingly accurate. Last thing I want to deal with right now is my good friend Officer Sourface and his usual barrage of sarcasm and suspicion. Time to get moving. Under the circumstances, I was expecting a little resistance if Makina tried to leave as usual. But when the girl asked, "Can I go home now?" her employer just nods and says goodnight. Now that the terror has faded, the man seems to have worked up a good bit of outrage over the damage to his shop. He's too busy shouting at the policeman on the other side of the line to worry about anything else. Alright, let's go home. Despite her dopey personality, Makina has got sharp instincts. Surely she's figured out by now that bullets fired into the shop weren't a random prank. A gloomy expression settled onto her face. I fall into step next to the girl, then wrap an arm around her shoulders and pull her close in a casually protective gesture. 4 bullets were fired in the direction of the shop. The first hit their signboard, the second and third penetrated the glass in the front show windows, ultimately lodging in the rear walls of the bakery. The fourth hit a plastic bucket in the alleyway outside. Most likely, they weren't fired at any particular target. The point of the shooting was to intimidate and threaten the people inside. In other words, it was simple harassment. A warning to the effect of, "We could kill you at any time if we needed you dead." Of course, the intent of the attackers doesn't change the fact that potentially deadly bullets were fired at her store. It's no consolation in the slightest. Should this simple but effective threat convince Makina to quit her job at the bakery, it'd minimize contact with the outside world and reduce the time wasted on fruitless investigations. From the Branch family, this was probably a minor risk well worth the taking. Are you alright? Makina has been trudging along silently at my side for some time, looking down at the pavement below. She hadn't said a word since we left the bakery. As if there's a single person in the world who isn't causing trouble for someone. There was a driver in that car with her sister. Not that I'm going to remind her. Maybe so, but you don't want to go back, do you? Then you don't have to. Not to worry, I'll make sure this sort of thing doesn't happen again. It's nothing particularly dangerous. I'm just going to get the police to give us their full attention. It's an organization that exists to keep law-abiding citizens safe and secure. Only normal to rely on them at times like these, right? Nothing to worry about. Leave it to me. To be honest, my employer has a tendency not to view relying on the police favorably. And I don't personally enjoy begging them for favors myself, but the organization exists, and it's powerful enough once it gets moving. Not making use of them would be foolish. Once we made it back to the dorm, I trust the clearly depressed Makina to Sachi. I also considered the option of leaving this to Amane, but I decided a class representative would be the better choice this time. My reasoning concerns what you might call Sachi's peculiar virtues. Specifically, a certain quickness on the uptake characteristic of an experienced maid, and the modesty to refrain from asking too many questions. When I abruptly show up and ask her to look after Makina, the girl doesn't request even the briefest of explanations.
はい、お任せください。
Instead, she nods her assent without even a moment's hesitation. Things wouldn't have gone nearly this smoothly with Amane. When it comes to Makina, the woman's something of a worrywart. She wouldn't be able to have barraging us with questions. Although I'm sure Amane's evidently understand the matters best left alone, it'd bother her so much that she'd end up getting gloomy too. That might leave Makina feeling even worse than before. I'll have to explain what happened to Amane and the others in due time, but for the moment, leaving it to Sachi is probably the optimal choice.
マキちゃん、私のお部屋に来る？ミルクココアを入れようか。ありがとう、サチ。
Sachi turns around with a flutter of her long skirt, gently rests a supportive hand on Makina's back, and heads for her room. For just an instant, the class representative looks back over his shoulder, her face expressionless as ever, and fixes her clear eyes on mine. I'd like to hear the circumstances later. She doesn't make a sound, but I can hear her words clearly enough. I nod briefly, then make my way up the stairs and head towards the certain room. Sakaki, it's me.
誰？
Me, your grandson. I'm in trouble. Please transfer 1 million yen to the following bank account.
詐欺なら他を当たってちょうだい。私。
Sorry to interrupt, but please open the door. This is urgent. There's a brief moment of what seems like hesitation on her part, but soon the lock clacks open.
一体何なの？急用って。
I'm bleeding from my crotch and it just won't stop. Got any extra sanitary napkins? I was just kidding. Come back. Man, this is no time to be joking around. Seriously?
次にふざけたことを言ったら、本当に血が止まらなくしてあげるわよ。
Sorry, this is serious, alright? Please hear me out.
何？言ってみなさいよ。
Let me borrow your computer.
は？
Huh? There's something I need to look into. I'd like to be alone in the room if that's possible.
何を調べるつもり？
Kind of a long story?
何の説明もなしに、私がいいわよって言うと思っているの？
No, kinda. Point taken. Okay, I'll give you the executive summary. Someone took a few pot shots at the bakery where Makina works. Fortunately, no one was injured, but it's most likely harassment from the Branch family to make her quit the job.
そう。ついに行動に移し始めたということ
It
ね。
appears so. I can't say for sure who was responsible, yes. But that's why I wanted to borrow your PC to investigate.
いいけど、あまりおかしなサイトにはアクセスしないでもらえる？
Appreciate it. I'll let you know when I'm done, so go kill some time reading the porn magazines under my bed or something.
冗談よね。
Yeah, joke, sure. Why don't you take a look and see?
まあいいわ。本当にあったら全部捨てるわよ。
Feel free. I give Sakaki a little wave as she stalks out of the room. Wonder what sort of expression she'd make if I changed her PC wallpaper to a picture of my groin. Oh, unfortunately, there's no time for such absurd pranks. Why are we thinking this ridiculous stuff when, like, someone's life was just in danger? Like, seriously, we can't lay off the crude humor for even 5 minutes? Ah, this main character is disappointing me. Switch on the notebook computer sitting on her desk, then hunt around in my breast pocket for JB's business card as the machine boots up. Underneath a simple but professional logo consists of the letters A and C overlapping, the words Sachi Clean LLC, second public relations section, and Haruda Yura, section chief, are printed in an embossed type. In a smaller font below, there's an email address and a URL for the company's webpage. Once the computer loads its desktop, I immediately open a web browser, then type in the address. Just as you'd expect, a typical corporate front page for the Sachi Clean Company appears. Normally, I'd only be using this through our company's secure internal telecommunications network, but even using a normal public connection, it's possible to get access to our database through an emergency ID and login. However, the company's not quite so happy-go-lucky as to hand out such a lovely authorization to a mere part-timer like myself. I click on a small user ID field in the upper right page, enter Julia 00393, then move my cursor to the password field. At this point, I pause to stroke my chin thoughtfully. Well then. Closing my eyes, I recall JB's body in all its vulgar glory. Damn. I've been out of touch for quite some time, but I don't think these numbers will have changed that easily. Her measurements. 172, 96, 56, 90, 55. Okay. I tap in the figures as I recall them, then click the login button. I'm instantly bounced back with a brusque incorrect user ID or password error. Oh shit, no good. Did she put on some weight? This typing the password 3 times will trigger an automatic warning to the company. I've only got 2 more shots at this. 178, 296, 58, 92, 57. How's that? The moment I click the login button for a second time, the hard disk begins grinding away intensely as a new page automatically opens virus detection software to scan the computer. Bingo! She better watch that ice cream habit. After a minute or so, the browser window changes to a dry, functional terminal screen, empty except for a number of labeled tabs at the top. I select Vehicle Lookup and quickly enter the car's manufacturer, model, color, and license plate number in the frame that pops up. The result, no corresponding vehicle found. I'd been more or less expecting this sort of thing would happen, so it's not particularly discouraging. This time, I try to search using only the license plate number, but again, the database gives me nothing. Seems they weren't using a license plate borrowed from another vehicle, but instead a counterfeit with a random mishmash of a number. In which case, the only remaining hint would be that sticker in the rear window, I suppose. I wonder if searching for other might turn up something. Just as I'm pondering the next step, my cell phone begins to ring shrilly inside my pocket of my uniform. The caller should probably go without saying at this point. Hey there, JB.
ちょっとユージ、あなた今外からうちの広域通信網にアクセスしてるでしょ。
There was a little something I wanted to look into.
私の ID を勝手に使わないでっていつも言っているでしょ。
Let's not get too caught up on the little things, okay? Not to worry, I won't let anyone know you've gained a little weight lately. Our little secret.
そういうことを言ってるんじゃないでしょ。
Oh, sure about that?
だからって別に太ったことを言いふらしていいってわけじゃないわよ。っていうか太ってません。あれはその時々パスワードを変える必要があって仕方なく数字を大きくしてみただけで。
Who are you making excuses to here?
それで何を調べようとしていたの？
A motorcycle club named Blood Cherry, skull with a bomb in its mouth as a logo, probably affiliated with local organized crime.
そんなことわざわざ不正アクセスしなくても私に聞けばすぐ済むことでしょ？
Well, probably so, but it's not directly connected to my work for the company, so I was trying to show a little restraint.
遠慮。
What's with the tone of exhausted disbelief? You won't find many more men tactful than me.
はいはい。錯乱に暴力の暴でチェリーね。
Appreciate it.
いつまでに調べておけばいいの？
Right now. Sooner the better. Right now, possible.
今すぐ？
Right now. That's what I said. Right now.
あのね。
I'm not hearing information. I want it right now. Look, JB, I tried to do it myself, but because I didn't want to make you sigh like that, okay?
まったく、今すぐ調べればいいんでしょ？今すぐ。
Right now. Can you handle that?
何のための中央調査部だと思っているのよ。できるに決まってるでしょ。
Sorry about this. You have my undying gratitude.
あなたいっつもそうやって感謝するって言うけど、本当に感謝してるの？
I'm always grateful to you, JB. After all, now that Asako's gone, you're the only family I have left.
12分後に結果をメールするわ。
Well, I was kind of wanting like 12 seconds, but whatever. Thanks, Julia. It's not a lie. I really am grateful for her. When Asako died and I nearly lost sight of the reason I was alive, somehow or other, Julia gave me the courage I needed to get back on my feet. Precisely 12 minutes later, an email arrives in my inbox from a certain punctual German. A certain place.
ほら、立てよ、てめえ。勘弁してくださいよ、マジで。
俺ちゃんとやったじゃないですか。
This guy's getting his ass kicked.
お、口答えとかしちゃう元気まだあんのかよ。
Oh God.
んじゃまだボコっても死なねえよな。
すいません。マジ無理っす。勘弁してください。
たく、どうしますか、阿藤さん。
あ
I was like, what? I haven't been
ん。
watching.
なんかもう勘弁してくれとか言っちゃってんですけど、どうします？もう
What?
殺しちゃってもいいっすかね。
Don't kill the guy. He's fine.
あそりゃおめえ殺しちゃまずいだろよ。人殺しはおめえいいくねえよ。
Killing people ain't right. Beating them with the inch of their life, that's okay.
俺、自慢じゃねえっすけど、学校とかまともに行ってねえから初耳ってやつですよ。
Because you're a delinquent.
あ、まあいいわ。ちょっとそいつこっち連れとこ
Wouldn't it be badass if this guy just killed him himself? Just like pulled a gun out, shot him point blank in the face. Man, that'd be crazy.
ういっす。ほら、てめえいつまで寝てんだよ。起
That's
きろ
got
よ
quite the
ボケ。
mouth on him, doesn't he?
あ、いいですよ。そんな無茶引っ張んなくても自分で立ちますから。
Let's see.
お前誰だっけ？名前だよ。なんつった？
That name sounds familiar.
たかしくん？
ただしっすよ。石川ただし。
Ishikawa. That sounds very familiar.
ああ、ほいじゃったね。ただしくん。なんだおめえ。誰だ？おめえよ。ダメじゃんかよ。ちゃんと俺の言う通りに仕事してくんなきゃよ。だからちゃんと言われた通りにパン屋に鉛玉ぶち込んだじゃないですか。
I think you were supposed to kill the kid. Kill Makina. I think that was the whole point.
だからよ。おめえちゃんと俺の話聞いてたか？俺はパクった車でやれってそう言ったよな。
Oh, he did not use his own car.
俺ちゃんと言ったよな。
Oh, so that could be traced back to that guy.
へい、ちゃんと言いました。
だろ？焦った。言い忘れたか
Fuck,
と
you
思った。
got me all nervous, so I've gone and forgot to mention.
ざけんなてめえ。
Damn.
おす。なあ、俺はちゃんとパクった車でやれって言ってんのに。なんでおめえ。それ無視しててめえの愛車でかっこよく乗りつけちゃったの？
This guy's totally dead. They're not gonna want any loose ends. They're gonna kill this guy.
なに？俺の車超イケてんから見て見てって感じで目立とうとしちゃった感じ？
I mean, the guy doesn't have a name. What does that tell you?
そんなんじゃねえっすよ。ただ車パクんのも面倒だったし。
Oh, well, he has a
俺は
name.
どうせナンバー偽物だし、バレねえかなってちょっと思っただけで。
But his name's very generic. It's Tadashi. It's not like a Tao. Tao's a cool name. Tadashi, you know, it's a dime a dozen. I bet if I looked in a Japanese phone book and I looked up Tadashi, I'd find like 20 million of them.
ダメじゃんかよ。なあ、おめえさ、そういうとこ全然ダメな。おめえの間抜けな自己判断でよ。足がついたらどうすんの？あ？おめえ一人がパクられんなら、俺だって何も言やしねえよ。でもよ、おめえがパクられて。なんだ？ほら。
That's true.
真鶴。
芋づるっすかね。
そう、それだよ。おめえ、芋づる式ってやつで俺らまであげられたら、そりゃシャレになんねんじゃねえのって話じゃねえのかよ。すいません、勘弁してください。
My bad, man. Cut me a break. This guy ain't cutting no breaks, man.
ダメだな、ほんと。まったく暴走族なんかやってるやつはアホばっかりだよ。簡単なお使いすら満足にできやしねえ。おめえダメ。生きてる価値ねえよ。つか殺すのも面倒だよ、お前。ああ、わか
Is
った。
Toe not gonna kill this guy?
ええ
Damn.
すいません、マジで次はもう失敗しませんから。
there's not going to be next time. Bam!
バーカ次なんかねえんだよ。てめえみてえな使えないやつに杯やるわけねえだろ。
そんな約束違うじゃないですか。
Why do thugs like think that whatever the boss promises them, or he's gonna, the guy's probably just gonna, fuck you over in the end and just kill you or whatever? I don't get it.
おう先に約束破ってくれちゃったのそっちじゃねえのかよ。
It's not a guy you want to piss off.
勘弁してくださいよ。この前もそんなこと言って結局杯くんなかったじゃないですか。
What's a cup? What does that mean?
テレビだバーカ杯が欲しけらもうちっと真面目に働いてちった役に立てよ。
Oh.
ねえおめえ犬だって餌やりゃおめえよりいい仕事すんぞ。ああ
ウェス。
ウィッスじゃねえバカてめえ真面目にやる気あんのかよ。
次は大丈夫っす。マジで俺気合バリ入れて真面目に頑張るっすから。
んだよったくおめえ次失敗したらマジ死なすからよ。覚えとけよね。
ウェス。
おダメだ。俺
Oh,
思い出しちまったよ。
Oh
お前あれ
shit.
だ他にも失敗してんじゃんか。
Oh no.
なんすか他にも失敗って。
おめえあれだ昨日の夜俺が渡したチャカ。
You dumbass. Why would you do that?
してたろ。
Why would you do
あ
that?
れ
あれは。
He's no talking his way out of this one. This guy's life is just forfeit.
なあ俺言ったよな。誰にも言っちゃダメだぜってよ。それがおめえときたら何よ。チャカ手にした途端何飲み屋で女に自慢とかしちゃってんのよ。バカじゃねえの。
Oh shit.
マジでダメじゃんお前。奥だこいつ殺していいよ。
Toe's like, I'm not gonna kill him. He's not worth my time. This guy, he doesn't have as much time. He's not as important as me, so he can go ahead and kill him.
勘弁してくださいよ。
Sorry, dude. You fucked up. This is what you get.
何やってんだ奥だ。はよこいつ殺さんねえ。奥だ。奥だてめえ何寝てんだよ。おいただしてめえふざけんな。誰だ。
Who the fuck is
誰
this?
かいんのか。隠れてねえで出てこいやから。